Welcome to the Confidence in You podcast, designed to help you build confidence and create positive, lasting change in your life. And here's your host, Helen Luxford.
Hi there, and welcome back to the podcast again today, and thank you for being here. Today I want to talk about finding your purpose or connecting back in with yourself, connecting in with what is important to you and what brings you joy. So finding your purpose, your calling, or your mission can require some soul searching. And it may be something that seemed unrealistic or silly or childish at one time, but when you find it and you connect with it and you allow yourself to experience it, it's amazing. So allowing yourself to consider all of the things that bring you joy or that used to bring you joy without judging them as good or bad, wrong or right, opening up your mind and allowing yourself to just experience it for what it is, for a thought, a thing, an activity that you do that brings you joy. So what do I mean by that? So for example, imagine that as a child you had a love for dolls and you were obsessed by dolls and dolls' clothes and dressing them up. And as you got older, the adults around you were like, oh, you're too old for that, stop playing with dolls, don't do this, don't do that. But as a child, you had such joy and creativity in playing with your dolls and dressing them up. And that could lead to you becoming a dressmaker or a designer or having that as a hobby or a career later in life, because that was what you connected with as a child. That is what brought you joy. That is where your passion was. It could be the same thing for playing with Play-Doh or making mud pies or cooking with your grandma. And you had this passion for cooking, but as you got older, you were told that cooking isn't cool or that you don't have time for cooking because your parents, your adults in your life need you to do other things. And it misses that opportunity of you connecting in with your soul purpose, the thing that drives you, that makes you happy, that gives you joy, that time flies by when you're doing it because it's such a beautiful thing for you. It could be drawing. You could have become an artist maybe, but you didn't have time for drawing because as you got older and you needed to do school or activities or sports or look after the family or whatever it was that you needed to do. So I want you to take a moment to just loosen up your brain and let it explore for you now without any reality checks. Just let your mind and heart and gut and soul wander and see what you connect with as I run through these questions. The first one is, what did bring you joy as a child? Think back to your formative years now, your younger years, and what were the things that you did that really made you happy, that made you giggle or laugh or just feel great inside, the things that you really loved to do. Was it playing games? Was it riding a bike? Was it drawing? Was it cooking? Was it playing with your whatever toy was your favourite toy? Was it doing a sport? Was it hanging out with friends? What was it for you that just made you happy as a child? Go back there now and just remember how that felt for you and the goodness and the joy that it brings inside you when you think back about that now. I encourage you to capture those memories, those thoughts, those feelings, and draw on them when times are tough or when you're in challenging situations. Think back to a time in your life when you were younger and carefree and you enjoyed doing what you did just because you did it, because it just brought you joy. So the next thing I'd like you to consider is slowing down. It's a busy world and we quite often run from one thing to the next, to the next, to the next. So slowing down and resting your mind, your body and your soul, because when you take a few minutes to do breath work or mindfulness or meditation or yoga, any of those things that slow down the mind, the body and the soul, to allow yourself to relax and open up your mind to new possibilities, because you're resetting your central nervous system and allowing yourself just to be calm for a moment. And when that happens, you're then open to seeing new things, different things, things that you don't see when you have a busy mind and you're rushing and rushing and rushing. The next thing is making some time, daily I would recommend, to stop and immerse yourself in the present. Now that could be stopping whatever it is you're doing and taking a moment now to put down your phone or your pen or your paper, or stop looking at your computer and just take a moment to observe the environment around you. Have a look at what's going on around you and notice something now that you haven't noticed before. I do this exercise when I go walking, and it's amazing when I stop in the middle of my walk and I just take a moment to look around and notice, really observe what's in the environment around me. And if I'm in the city, I've noticed colours of buildings or how tall some buildings are, or something that I didn't even realise was there, and I've walked up and down this street thousands of times. So take a moment now to just stop, observe and look at what's going on around you and notice something different. The next thing is a little bit like connecting back with that childlike stuff that you loved. I want you to become aware of the things that make you smile. How often have you smiled today? So think about the things that make you smile and bring you joy, because smiling and laughing is actually really good. It relaxes you. Think about the people that inspire you. Think about things that make you forget about everything else, that might make time stand still because you're so caught up in that moment and you're being present and you're in it and you're loving it. It's a bit like when you go to the movies and you're watching the movie, you're in that movie, you forgot about everything else because you're captivated and you're in that movie, you're watching it and nothing else matters in that moment. Is it when you play sport or watch sport? Is it watching your kids play and you just lose track of everything else going on because you're so focused on watching them play and hearing that childlike laughter that is just so warm and heart-fulfilling? Is it when you're reading a book or doing a crossword? What is it for you that makes you smile, brings a smile to your face? When you finish that crossword, you go, oh yeah, I'm really good about that. Is it doing Wordle? What is it for you? Write a list of 5 things, more if you can, but write a list of 5 things that you now recognise and appreciate that make you smile. The next one is allowing yourself to explore your memories. How often do you sit and reflect and think about the good things that have happened in the past? And what did you used to do before you got too busy to do it and it's dropped off now? Was it going to the gym? Was it catching up with friends every week, but now you've got other commitments and you can't do that? What is it that you used to do before you got too busy to fit it in anymore? What made you feel alive and energised? What were the things that you really wanted to do as a kid, or even not as a kid, even as an adult, but you're not doing it now? What was the career or the job that you dreamed of doing or that you still dream of doing? Is it being a fashion designer, an event planner, a tour guide, a beer taster, a chef, a writer, a psychotherapist, a nurse, a doctor, an interior designer, a fitness instructor, a support worker, a photographer, a nutritionist? What is it that is in you that you really want to explore, that you really, really want it to come out and be able to do that because it brings you happiness and joy, and time flies by when you're doing it because to you, you're just in flow, you're in your element doing that thing. If you could choose any job in the world and you knew that you could succeed, what would you do? That's the question. What would you do? The next thing is making time for you. Prioritise and creating time in your schedule to do one thing that brings you joy. It might have nothing to do with your work. It might be a hobby or spending time with family or just being by yourself, going for a walk or having a massage or reading your book or riding your bike or exercising, whatever it is for you. What is one thing that fills up your cup, that energizes you, that inspires you, that brings you joy? One thing that you can do just for you. And I encourage you now to get out your diary and prioritize yourself. Put in an hour or however long you need and make the space in your life for a little me time so that you can recharge your batteries. Because if you haven't got a full cup, you can't get other people to drink from an empty cup. Another thing that I think is a really great thing to do is to create a personal purpose statement. This is kind of like a corporate mission for organisations, but this is for you, just for you. Write a short sentence that describes what's important to you, a personal purpose statement that highlights just what is important to you. I'll give you some examples. An example could be, my aim is to inspire positive change through teaching. Another one could be, I aspire to be the best parent by being present with my children and creating wonderful memories. Another one could be, as an ideal partner, and you can substitute that for as an ideal friend, as an ideal colleague, as an ideal daughter, as an ideal parent, whatever it is for you. As an ideal friend, I want to, and then fill that in. I want to, you could be supportive and attentive when you're with your parents or your children. You could be fully present and connected. You could express your love daily in words, affection, and action. So create a personal purpose statement for yourself. No one else needs to see it. It's just for you. As an ideal ... partner, friend, colleague, I want to, and then whatever you want to do. And have it somewhere where you can see it on your phone or in your diary or on your desk or wherever it is that you can see it. And the last thing that I really invite you to do is to take action, because we can all sit and watch videos, we can listen to podcasts, we can read books, but if we don't do something, if we don't take action, then nothing changes. So make a commitment to yourself now to do one thing that will help you be more aligned and to live your personal purpose statement. No matter how small, just one thing, commit to one thing. So create a list of the things you'd like to change. Tell someone about it. Share one thing with someone close to you that you trust. Give them a call and have a chat and say, hey, I've been thinking about, I'd like to do what the thing is that you want to do. And then sketch out a plan on how you're going to do it. Create a plan for that first step, because that first step will help you start your momentum. You have the skills and ability to do this yourself. Just write it down, focus on it, allow time in your diary, and you can do it, because now that you're aware of the things that bring you joy, you're aware of what you like that you want more of in your life, you now have the awareness to change it. And you'll hear me say this, with awareness comes choice. So now that you've slowed down, you've taken time to reset your mind, you've focused on your personal purpose statement, you've focused on what's important to you, take some action. I really encourage you to take some action. You can do it by yourself, you can ask a friend or a colleague for help, or you can engage a coach. But just do something and reconnect with that purpose, that personal purpose statement that's important to you, the thing that gives you a fire in your belly, and make a commitment to yourself to move towards living or working towards your purpose each and every day. That's all for today. Thank you for being here and sharing the podcast with family and friends. And I'd really appreciate you following me and giving me a rating on iTunes so together we can reach more people. And remember to let your light shine. Until next time, bye for now.